Today I will show you how to crochet this bucket hat in a very retro pattern. I really like this pattern. I will show you from the very beginning to the end exactly how to do this on every step and also the shade. If you prefer to follow a written pattern though, I will of course leave a link in the description below so you can find the written pattern instead. So let me show you how to crochet this one today. For the yarn, I've used Mayflower cotton yarn in a size 8, and this is the thin one, but I will put it double, so you can of course choose the bigger one in a DK weight instead. And yeah, you know all the things, it's just a regular cotton yarn. I will show you how to use one skein instead of two when you are putting them double. Let me show you that in a moment, but first the other materials. I've used a crochet hook, 4mm, and some scissors and a tapestry needle and some stitch markers. When you put the yarn double, you will take the threads from the outside and also from the inside and then put them together and crochet as one, so you don't have to have two skeins. Then I will begin with a magic ring. So wrap the yarn around the finger 3 times and make a magic ring. Then we will do 10 single crochet into this ring. If you're uncomfortable with making a magic ring, then I have another tutorial on how to do that, but you can also use other alternatives. But right now you'll just do 10 single crochet into the ring. And 10, and then finally pull them all together as a tight circle. And then of course pull this one so you know which one moves, and then pull that one together very tight to close up the gap entirely, and then pull this one to pull this loop. And then we will finish with a slip stitch in the first stitch. So in this one, you'll make a slip stitch just to complete the circle. And that's it. So now we will begin with the first stitch of the next round. We will be working in the back loop only. I will find a stitch marker. I will insert this stitch marker in the first stitch of the round, each round. So I always know the first stitch is the one with the stitch marker. This one will be the first stitch, and I will insert the hook in the back loop only. So for this pattern, we will almost always be working through the back loop. This is the entire stitch, and this is the back loop. We will only be working through the back loop of the stitch for most of this pattern. I will tell you when not to, but for the most of it, we will just be working through the back loop. So insert the hook in the first stitch, only through the back loop, and do a single crochet in this one. And then another single crochet in the same stitch. And then remember I told you I wanted to put the stitch marker in the first stitch of the round. So we did 2 already. So in the first of them, I will insert the stitch marker, and that will always be the first stitch of the round. Now for the next stitch, we will do 2 single crochet in the back loop of the next stitch. 2, and in the next stitch as well. So 2 single crochet in each stitch all the way around. Remember, only through the back loop. And now we are at the stitch marker, so we know when to stop. I will pull this one out. And then for the next stitch, I will begin with an increase, and an increase is 2 stitches in one stitch. So in this, I will do 2 stitches in the first back loop single crochet. And then, of course, insert the stitch marker again in the first of them. And then in the next stitch, only 1 single crochet. So 1 back loop single crochet in the next stitch. And then in the next, I will do an increase, so 2 back loop single crochet in the same stitch. And then in the next one, only 1 single crochet. For this round, you will work 1 single crochet, and in the next, 2 single crochet. So a regular back loop single crochet and then an increase. So this is and now you know when to stop. It's by the stitch marker, which we will pull out. And then we will begin the next round. And we will increase with 10 stitches for each round. We will begin with an increase in the first stitch. And then we will, of course, insert the stitch marker again. And then for this round, we will do 2 back loop single crochet. So in the next stitch, you'll do a back loop single crochet. And in the next one as well, only 1 back loop single crochet. And then an increase in the next. So for this round, you will do single crochet, increase. And then again, single crochet, increase. Single crochet, increase. All the way around. And for the next round, you'll do 3 single crochet, then an increase. And then 3 single crochet, then an increase. And then for the next round, you'll do 4 single crochet and an increase. And you'll keep adding stitches between the increases until you are at 10 single crochet, then an increase. So when you've done 10 rounds, you are at 100 stitches in the round. You might need to count them or not, but you will stop when you have 10 rounds, and that will be 100 stitches. So keep crocheting in spirals until you have 10 rounds in total. And that will look like this. You will now have you will have 100 stitches in the round. And you will now stop increasing. You will now just do 1 back loop single crochet in each stitch. So you will not do any increases. You will just work your way in spirals around and around until you have 26 rounds in total. So count from the very middle and then do another many rows until you have 26 rows in total. And this will now be the body of the hood or the head. Now we have worked in the back loop only. We will now begin the shade, and we will for 1 round just work in the front loop, which is this one. This is the front loop of the stitch. I will again insert the stitch marker. And then I will do 1 front loop single crochet in each stitch all the way around. So I will go down and grab this front loop of every stitch and then do 1 front loop single crochet in each stitch all the way around. And after this round, you can really see it bending out and you can see the shade becoming. Now I want to remove the stitch marker, and we will now be working through the back loop again. So insert the hook through the back loop of the next stitch and work 1 increase. So you will begin with an increase in the first stitch, then again insert the stitch marker in the first stitch, and then you'll work 5 back loop single crochet. So in the next 5 stitches, you'll just work 1 back loop single crochet in each stitch. And after these 5 back loop single crochet, you will now work an increase. So 2 back loop single crochet in the same stitch. And then after that, you will work 5 back loop single crochet again, and then an increase, then 5 back loop single crochet, then an increase, and then after that you'll work 2 rounds with just 1 back loop single crochet in each stitch. So after this round you'll just work 2 rounds with no increases. So when you're done with these 3 rounds, we will now work an increase in the first stitch. So 2 back loop single crochet in the same stitch. And then you will work 1 back loop single crochet in the next 6 stitches, then an increase, then 6 single crochet, then an increase, and so on. And then 2 rounds after that, you'll work just back loop single crochet with no increases. So increases in this round, and then 2 rounds with no increases. And then after those 3 rounds, we will now repeat. We will work an increase in the first stitch, and then we'll work 6 stitches, then an increase, then 6 stitches, then an increase, and then we'll work 3 rounds with no increases. So for this round, we'll work 1 increase, then 6 stitches, then 1 increase, then 6 stitches, and then after that, you'll work 3 rounds with no increases. All right? Then I will meet you up after that, and it will look like this. We are now done with the shade. We will just make the final round, which will be the edge, to make it a little bit more finished. So we will work 1 slip stitch in each stitch, but through both loops. So no front loop, no back loop, just through both loops. So insert the hook through both loops and work 1 slip stitch. That's 1 slip stitch. And then again, through both loops and 1 slip stitch. And this will be a much nicer edge than if you don't do this. It will make it a little harder, and you can see the result right here. I will finish with 1 slip stitch in the first stitch of the round, just to make it a little bit more even, and then cut the yarn. And remember to leave a bit for weaving in the end. Just pull this one through and you can weave it in on the back side, of course, or on the inside. You can see the edge, it's much more thicker and much more nice looking. So I hope you found this tutorial easy to follow. If you did, please press thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I hope to see you again soon. Bye!